here right now. And I would say, well, you're students, obviously, and you're trying to get a degree, and you believe that that will have some functional utility. Maybe you'll be a little wiser and a little more literate and be able to think a little better and be able to write a little better, and so you'll actually be more functional in the world. That would be good, and maybe you're interested. But anyways, you're in this particular lecture so that you can take this particular class, so that you can get a particular kind of degree, so that you can launch your life, and then in your life you're probably going to meet someone that you have a long-term relationship with, and you're going to have children, and you're going to partake in this society, and that's why you're here. All of those reasons simultaneously is why you're here. And so then that helps you decide what to look at. And so what you look at is, at the moment, or listen to, is me, because in principle I'm the gateway to that set of accomplishments at this moment. And so you focus on me, and that's because you value that. And so what that means is you can't even look at the world without a value structure. It's chaos if everything is equally unimportant, or if everything is equally important. It's chaos. And so a value system structures the very way that you perceive the world, and I don't mean that metaphysically. There's plenty of experiments that have demonstrated that, like the invisible gorilla experiment, which, how many of you know about the invisible gorilla experiment? How many don't? Well, roughly speaking, what happens is that there are two teams, a white team dressed in white and a team dressed in black, and there's a video of them, and the black team is passing a basketball back and forth, and the white team is passing a basketball back and forth, and you're supposed to count the times the basketball gets passed back and forth. There's only one basketball. And so you're diligent for whatever reason, you do what the experimenter asks you, and you count the basketball tosses, and you think, well, that's not so hard, it's like 16. So you tell them 16, and they say, did you see the gorilla? And half of you say, what are you talking about? And the experimenter says, well, let's watch again, but this time don't count. Well, sure enough, like 30 seconds into the video, and the players fill the video screen. It's not like they're 300 yards in the distance, like little ants playing basketball. They're right filling the screen. You can see their faces. Sure enough, a minute into the video, this guy in a gorilla suit, and he's not little, and neither is the gorilla suit, he comes out, bangs his chest right in the middle of the screen for 5 seconds, and then disappears. And more than half actually of people don't see that. And it's even worse. Dan Simon did another experiment where you're at a counter, at a store, and there's a clerk there, and you're talking to the clerk, and the clerk goes down hypothetically to get something, and a different clerk pops up, and you'd think, hey, I'd notice that, but you don't. And you can even vary the clerk quite a bit, and people don't notice. So we focus on very particular things, and the reason we don't notice is because it actually doesn't matter. In terms of our ongoing action at that point, the clerk is interchangeable. As long as the entity there acts like a clerk, that's sufficient. So